Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Matthew and I greatly appreciate you tuning in. This is a video we've been looking forward to making, kind of an end of an era. The last big job for LT-35. Hang on, we'll come back and talk about what it is and how much it is. So we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. As most of you probably know by now, Matthew and I purchased a brand new WoodMizer LT-70 three-phase electric. Hopefully our electrician will be here the next day or two to get it put in. But this is the last big job that we're probably going to do on our LT-35. I was really hoping to do it on the 70, but electrician's been a little behind. So we had a customer contact me a couple weeks ago. They were building, he was a contractor for a customer. They're building a big, huge front porch and a rear porch with a gazebo, and ended up needing like 63 posts, anywhere from 6x6s, 6x8s, 8x10s, 8x12s, anywhere from 6 feet, 7 feet, 12 feet, 15 feet, and I think about 9 of them are 17 feet long. So there's a bunch of them. We dug through our inventory today. When they first contacted me, most of them was going to be 8x8s, and I was pretty well sure we had enough to do it. And then plans changed, and the biggest ones went to 8x10s, and that kind of caught me off guard. So Matthew and I had to go to our local wood yard down, 10 miles away, over off of the interstate. And they buy logs from loggers, and they turn around, high grade them, and sell them back. And just so happened, my good buddy was going to come by and pick up some lumber that we'd sawed for him. And he had his log bunk on the trailer, so we met him down at the log yard, got a whole bunk load, it was 10, 12,000 pounds of logs, and brought them to the house. Matthew unloaded them. We loaded back up some of the lumber that he's going home with him. He left with it. So it all worked out. We'll go out and show you what we had to get. Got more than I needed, but I wanted to make sure we had enough. I don't normally keep 17 footers on the yard that will cut 6x8s, but we're willing to provide it. So let's take a break. We'll walk out there and look at the pile, and then we got to get back in here and get to sawing, because this is it's on the hot list. It's got to go. Okay guys, we're out here in the yard. You can see the pile behind me. We loaded up 14 logs. There's one laying over here. Out of these, we needed 6x8s. Yeah, 6x8s, 17 foot long. Went ahead and bought 18 foot logs. Some of them will yield a little more than what we need. We're not gonna waste anything. All the waste we'll cut in 1-inch boards to be dried and tongue and groove or whatever. We'll try to make 4.5, 6.5, 8.5 out of all the waste. It's worth too much to just throw it away. So, I want you to see that pile. This is just a drop in a bucket. This is just starting. Matthew's got some behind you that we already started on cutting. That's an 8x10, 8x10, 15 foot long. And we got 4 6x6s, 8 foot and 6 foot long. Yeah, there's 63 different pieces to make this timber frame package. And enough talking. Like I said, we're on a time crunch to get this done. Sometimes you overbook yourself intentionally, you know, trying to help a customer out, and I didn't mind doing it. It kind of caught us off guard that we had to go get the material, but we got time to get it done. We got what, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at the most. It won't take that long unless, you know, something happens. So enough chitter chatter. Let's get in here, and we'll try to show you as much as we can. It takes so long to saw these logs. I don't want you just sitting there watching rinse and repeat. So we'll run a time lapse if we see some interesting stuff, we'll stop and talk about it. I might even show you my list of what we're trying to get cut out of all this. So let's get back inside and get to work. Okay guys, you see Matthew haul that one out. That was our first 8x6, 17 foot long. We need 9 of those. We got to have 18 8x10s, 15 foot long. We need 6 8x12s, 12 foot long. 12 6x6 is 8 foot. 3 8x12s by 7 foot. 9 8x8s by 6 foot. And 6 6x6 by 6. So it's kind of a Duke's mix, but we're glad to do the work. Really glad to do the work. So got my list, marking off as we get done. I'm actually putting tags on the end of each of them, make it easier for the customer at the end. He can just look at it, it'll say, you know, 8x6 by 17. He don't even have to think about it. Just pull it out of the pile and go to work with it. So Matthew's gonna get us another log in here and we'll get started on it. There'll be a lot of edging. We've already started, you know, what little bits you seen out there. Got some edging there. Got some over here ready to do. We're not gonna waste it. It's too good of wood. Good southern yellow pine. We'll make, you know, what don't go into the beam will become a board. As always, guys, I don't say it enough. We appreciate you watching. I hope we teach you something. That's the goal of our YouTube channel, is trying to teach. You see us do something, just be careful. Every now and then you get ones a little bowed. Come here and look at this. We'll just have to work through it. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's tied against the dogs over here. This end's bowed out. I'm gonna square the top and bottom on it and we'll see. We may have to back up and punt on this one. We can cut it down to 15 foot and make a bigger log, and that may be what we gotta do. It's all part of it, guys. You gotta be always cognizant of what different dimensions of material you need. If like this one, I'll take the top and bottom off of it, and if we can't get a good 6x8 out of it, we may back up and try to get an 8x10 at 15 feet. That'll be three foot shorter than what this log is, and that'd probably take a good of that curl off. So enough talking, let's make some sawdust. Okay guys, we're gonna call it quits here for today. It's about 7:45 for us. Sun's starting to go down. Backs is wore out, brain's tired. But we needed 9 of those 6x8, 17 foot long, and we've got 4 so far. We got one 15 footer that's 8x10, and then we had one log that just wouldn't yield right, so I cut some short 8x8s out of it. But we had to have them, so we got them. What is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 out of 53? 63. So we got a few more to go. So it's gonna be a busy day tomorrow. Hang on, we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed some of that time lapse. We were shooting for 8x6s, 17 foot long, so there wasn't a whole lot to film there. Now we're doing 6x10s, 15 foot long, and we got bigger logs. So I say the bigger ones to get the bigger cants out of. But we don't want to waste it, and we're not wasting it. Anything that's waste is going to become a board. We can, we'll keep those and use them. Won't be no waste. But we need a bunch of 8x8s and 6x6s. So I'm going to try to show you my goal here. This is my first cut. Second cut, third cut, and then we'll probably come right in here with a fourth cut. And that gives me this nice flat face here that I can get an 8x10 out of. And this is 8 by about 5 up here. But if I cut it down to 6, I can get a 6x6 out of this spot right here. And then once we get it to this level, we'll roll it over and take 1, 2, 3 waste cuts, you know, till we get this corner right here good. Now if we have to take another one, then we have to take another one. We'll turn it over to this face and we'll cut down until we get this 10 inches plus 6 more is 16. We're gonna cut down to 16, and then I'll drop all the way to here and I'll cut this off, and we'll make an 8x10 and hopefully a 6x6. And then down here there should be one more. There should be 2. Nah, it won't be 2. We're gonna run out of room. It'll make at least 1, and depending on how the other side of the log looks, it may make 2. But that's kind of the goal. I wanted to show you what I was thinking of sawing this log to try to get multiple different things. I'd like to got an 8x8, but there just wasn't enough meat. Time I got this width across here in this corner and eventually this corner, I was running out of log, you know. And looking down the barrel, you know, it's fairly straight. Hopefully these lines will work. If it don't, we'll have to modify it a little bit. But like I say, we're not gonna waste anything. Anything won't make a 8x10 or 6x6 is gonna end up being a 1-inch board. It'll get dried and put in our inventory, and it'll make beautiful tongue and groove one day. So let me get everything fired up, and we're gonna try to cut it by our plan. If I don't go by this plan, you know something had to change. Okay guys, we stopped mid-cut on this one because we had to make an adjustment. And it wasn't by anything we laid out, it's by what I seen in the wood. I was gonna get my 8x10 here. Now I'm gonna switch it and get my 8x10 from here up because there's a bad defect. We'll go over and show you. This is our top flitch. We need 6x6s, but they don't have to be but 6 feet or 8 feet long. So we'll cut that down till it's 12x6. That end will be waste, but we'll get 2 8-footers out of it. So let me show you this defect and why I switched things up. The log was looking good till we got right here, and I didn't want that in our 8x10. Now we could cut this again and make a 8x8 out of this one.
6x8. It's the 6x8 right now is what we're cutting out of it.
It's an 8x10.
This is an 8x10. This is a 6x8.
Okay, well, Matthew's right. It is a 8x6, and we're gonna cut it down to a true 6x6, and we'll get good 8 feet, and then we'll waste this into our. It's gonna be a 6x6. We might make a piece of cribbing out of it. So that's why we changed it up. It's all because of that knot. You gotta be able to adapt, but I'm trying to get the best 8x10 out of it, and I got it. Everything else is bonus material. And the reason I flipped the log instead of cutting it the way it was oriented is you can't get 10 inches in the throat here. It'll hit. I can on that LT70. It's like 12 3/4, almost 13-inch drop. So that's another reason we're looking forward to getting it in here. But this is the end of the era. We're gonna get this job done with this one, and hopefully get her switched next week. So let's get back to cutting. We're gonna do exactly what I said on this. Get a good 8x10, a good 6x6 8-footer, and we'll take that other slab over there and get a 6x12. Be good about 8 foot long, and then we'll cut it in half and have 2 more of them. So Matthew mentioned our list. You gotta have a well-organized list to go by. So we still need 6x6 by 6 foot, 8x8 by 6 foot. We're working on the 8x10s up here. We're gonna have some 8x12s, 12 foot, but we'll use 12 foot logs for that. And here's our 6x6 by 8, and we're gonna have 12 of them. So we need them. It's a good time to make them. Let's get back to sawing and get this done. Let's move on.
back over.
Okay guys, welcome back. We got that big log done. We had to modify it just a little bit, but we still got exactly what we were shooting for. A good 8x10 and 3 good 6x6s, 8 foot long. They ended up right over there. This stack, we needed 9 6x8s by 17. We got those. And we need 18 8x10s, and we've got 3 of those. So we got quite a few more of those to do. Once we get those done, the rest of it'll be pretty easy. It'll be 12 foot and under type stuff. The 12 footers are big. They were 8x12s, but they're only 12 foot long. And we got plenty of good 12 foot logs. Our issue, like I said from the beginning, was the longer stuff. That's why we went and bought this load of logs. I still think we're gonna come up a couple short. I got a dead tree the hurricane took care of over there. We need to get out. But I got one standing up here that needs to go. So if we run short, we'll do what we've been dragging our feet about doing, is getting them trees out and making lumber out of them. It's about mid-80s today. Thank you Lord. But whew, I'm breaking a sweat. We're gonna take a 5-10 minute break and we'll get right back at it. Hey guys, welcome back to the end of the day. I apologize, we didn't even turn the camera on today. We had so many of these to get done. Good thing for us, we're finished with all the long stuff, all the 15s and 17 footers. You see that big pile of logs we went and bought? They're all gone. Matthew can show you the empty ground there. They are gone. We used every one of the ones that we had dug out that we thought would do a 15 foot 8x10, and we come up 4 short. So we should have filmed it, but we didn't. Had a big yellow pine over here that fell during Hurricane Helene, and we cleaned the top up and just left the bottom, the log laying in the gully. We took 2 backhoes up there, took the chain, and drug her up out of the ditch in the driveway, got it cleaned up, and we got 3 good 15 footers. Still left in 1 short. Up here on top of the hill, we'd had a yellow pine, died out last fall. Probably should have cut it then, but we didn't. We was saving it for a day like today. Matthew pushed a little bit on it with the tractor, and I cut it down, drug it out. Got our last 15.5, got 2 16.5 logs that are good, and then you threw the top away.
Yeah.
Top had already started to rot, so we got the 4 we needed. We are done. We got all our 8x10s. We got all our 6x8s. 6x8s. We got a good many of our 6x6s, and there's some 8x8s over there. So Monday, we got to come back. We need 12
8x12s.
8x12s, 12 foot long. But we got plenty of good sized 12 foot logs. That won't be no big deal. And then we got a few more. We only needed like 18 more posts, 12s, 7s, and 6s. So we'll take you along Monday for the journey. Today, like I say, it's Saturday, and got busy. Dad come by, helped us out while we was dragging that log out of the ditch and cleaning it up. So that's it. That's our update. Sorry we didn't film more, but promise we will do Monday. Matthew and I are wore out. It is 5:30 on a Saturday. That ought to be against the rules. But we're done. We'll see you back on Monday. Hey guys, welcome back. It's a rainy Monday morning for us. We're back to the mud and slop, but we don't have to worry about wildfire. We got some stuff we need to burn anyway. So these logs, this whole package is why Matthew and I upgraded sawmills. It wasn't for vanity. It wasn't because we just wanted to have something bigger, better. we got to the point we gotta have it, people. These big pine logs, these big oak logs that we're whacking out trying to do production on, just really, it's at the top end of the 35's ability. It'll do it, it's just slow. And we gotta get past the slow. Yeah, enough about that. Let's talk about this pine log here. It's a 12-foot log. It's kind of an egg shape, about 17 by 15. And the egg shape works out good for what we want. We're down to the last couple. We need 4 more of these. Needed 6, we've already cut 2. These are 8 by 12s. Now, if you're new to sawing, that don't sound that bad. But after you've sawed a while, you realize that an 8 by 12 clear, 100%, no bark, no wane, a beautiful post, takes a pretty good sized tree. Just a tad bigger than this one would be better. But this is what we got, and it's mildly adequate if we're careful. So, what I've done, just for y'all's benefit, is I cut a plumb line here, and I verified that end, and that end is actually a little bit bigger than this end. This is at 16 1/8, and this is dead on 15. I want to come over here when I roll the log and take the top cap off of it until I get a square corner right here. And looking down the log, that'll be pretty bird close. If that corner is square, this half of my 8 by 12 is probably done. Then we'll roll the log over, and I'll cut down this way, shooting for 8 inches. I may stop at 9 1/16 right here and leave me a cut off the top. We'll have to wait and see. Then we'll turn it up and we'll cut down to 12. If we have to, we'll roll this side back up and we'll take that one cleaning cut right there. And that should yield a perfect 4 by 12, 8 by 12. And like I say, I'm hoping I can actually move it down 1 inch. Would actually even be better. So. You don't always have to plan this hard on a log, but when you're cutting, you know, if we was cutting 1 by 10s out of this, I wouldn't even thought twice about it. I'd laid up there and cut rump till I got a 10-inch space, squared it over, turned it over, and we'd have went right through it. But since we're trying to get this specific dimension, I took a little more time and laid the log out, looked at the log, tried to see if it had any bow or curl, and make a good plan, because we got more, but I know where they're at. They're at the back of the pile over there, and it take Matthew 20 minutes to dig it out. And so we don't want to mess this one up. Plus, it's a good yellow pine log. Got good tight grain, heart's good. Maybe a couple little knots, nothing big. I mean, it'll make a perfect post. Couldn't ask for no better. So we're going to slow down and saw this one accordingly. So it's coffee time. Give me just a minute. We'll come back. I need to put you on the mill so you can watch me cut it. And you can see these lines start to go away as we run through the cut process. So we'll be right back. Okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. We went pretty much by the plan, other than I moved the cut down in the log just a little deeper, helped me square it up, helped me center the heart a little bit better, and I was happy with that. One thing we're doing with these, just for our convenience, keeping up with them, and for the customer, we're tagging each one so they can look at the end of the pile, because I'm sure they're going to need different sizes, different times. Just good customer service, and it's a good way for us to track them. That's an 8 by 12 by 12. Now, we've got 3 more of these to do, and some 7-footers and 6-footers, and we're going to call this quits. Video's probably getting long, so we'll just wait and come back at the end. I'll figure up the board footage and tell you about it, and then we'll look at this massive pile of flitches that we've got over here and explain why we haven't edged those. So, give us just a minute, we'll be right back. Okay, guys, we got to the spot Matthew and I wanted to get to. Done. Got all these 63 different lengths and dimensions, beams cut. I think the biggest one we did was 8 by 12s. Did a bunch of 8 by 8s, bunch of 6 by 8s. Anywhere from 17 foot, 15 foot, 12 foot, 8 foot, 7 foot, 6-footers. So there's a lot of keeping track of everything. Every log I put a sticker on. Most of them are on the other end, but it helps me to keep track of them, as well as when the customer gets these and they want to get an 8 by 8 by 8, they can just look at the sticker. Oh, there it is. Don't even have to think about it. So hopefully it helps them out. I actually just got off the phone with the contractor, and he's overjoyed that we're done. He won't be here tomorrow, but he'll be here the next day to pick it up. So we did our part. I told him when he finally gave me the job, you know, I said, I'll have it done by Monday. Well, it's 5 o'clock Monday afternoon, and we're completed with this part of it. Now, we left a mountain of flitches over here, a bunch of waste. We're actually going to make a video on that. I'll go into great detail on how to make good cash from trash. It's not trash, but I mean, it is waste. It's all the byproduct of this. This was most important. We just piled them up. There's probably 200 or more flitches in there, and a bunch of them. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you found some value in it, understanding how to cut so many different sizes, keep it in your mind, keep it wrote down on a piece of paper, trying to figure out what you can get out of some of these logs, even having to go to the store and buy some logs. Should have took the video while I was down there at the A&A Timber, but I didn't. We go back, I will. I know the guy real well. He won't have a problem with it. But let's wrap it up here. It's starting to rain on me. Big shout out to Matthew and Saul, been doing our videos. I couldn't run a business and do YouTube without them, guys. I greatly appreciate them. Also, don't forget beardedlumbernc.com is up and running. If you're interested in a hat, go on there. We'll do more eventually if there's interest. Big shout out to all our new subscribers. We've picked up a bunch of them here lately, and we appreciate each and every one of you guys. That's why we're here. I'm trying to teach, try to give back, you know, what I've learned over the years. I don't tell you the way I'm doing it's the right way. I'm just telling you this is the way I do it. And if I find something better, I change. You know, I don't want to be so rigid I can't learn. It's like we bought a steel chainsaw. You've probably seen that video. I've always been a Husky guy. I had steels, but I preferred Huskies. Mainly because I like the fast, high-revving saw. Buddy, let me tell you, this new 500i checks all the boxes. She's lightweight, fast running, screamer, got lots of power. I'm sold, you know, I like it. I highly recommend one if you're in the need for a chainsaw. They're a little more expensive than a 372. You don't have to buy one tricked out like I did. Sounds like a Yamaha motorcycle out there when it's idling. But you know, just a stock 500i is a good saw. It's probably about $400 upcharge from a 372, but you get the modern fuel injected saw. I love the way it cranks, ease, convenience. If you're interested in one, you know, give Shannon at 417 Saw Shop a holler. He'll help you out. Always, thanks for WoodMizer, all they do for us. I promise you, this was the last big job. This is the end of an era for our LT-35. We're done. The electrician, he's had some health issues, let's just say that. And he come by Saturday. We got a list together. He texted me this morning. He got it all ordered. So end of this week, first of next week, this 35 is moving out of here. But like I say, this is the end of the era. This is the last big job. That little 35, guys, no knock against it, is an excellent sawmill. If we didn't have to upgrade our productivity, I wouldn't be interested in changing it. I wouldn't change it for a 40. Definitely wouldn't change it for a 50. But stepping up to a 70 is a game changer as far as productivity of what we got to have here at Bearded Lumber. Some of these logs here, you know, it cut it fine, but I just having to wait on it. Got to give the blade time to do its job. And, you know, I'm a little more used to heck, we're waiting. Let's run that thing through there. Let's make a board. But end of an era for our LT-35. It may or may not be sold by the time this video comes out. If you're interested, give me a shout. It's easy to find me. Eric Champion on Facebook. You know, everybody in the world can find me on Facebook if they look. But thanks for WoodMizer. Thanks for helping us out with a new mill. When we get our new mill in, I'll go into great detail of why this is a temporary setup versus our long-term goals, but that's for another video. Shout out to Joe Maine. If you got any blades, equipment needs, give him a holler. His information will be in the description. Guys, that's going to do it. We'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.